Kevin Hassett is joining us now, Director of the National Economic Council. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now. Maybe you can help the Dow find some direction here. It's been up, it's been down, it's been up. It's been all over the place today, and now it's about flat, anticipating this decision top of the hour. So what can you tell the markets?
Right. Well, I think that the headline today is that we had one of the better GDP releases that we've ever seen. It was absolutely in a sweet spot of what you want to see. There was really high income growth. There was 3% GDP growth. And inflation, core inflation, CPI dropped all the way down to 2.1%, which is just what the Fed's target is. And so all that's happening while we've got $170 billion flowing in tariff revenue, which everybody said was going to make inflation take off and give us a recession. And instead, we're seeing the exact opposite. And so it's a really beautiful day in economic data land. And I think financial markets need to understand that when you have supply side booms like we're creating under Trump's agenda, then that doesn't create inflation. It creates growth, but not inflation, because the more supply you have, the lower prices are. Because
it sounds like you're setting up for what you would probably say is a disappointment if the Federal Reserve Chair does not lower interest rates in this announcement at 2.
We 100% respect the independence of the Fed. The Fed is a data-driven organization. I think the read of the White House right now is that the data are consistent with the Fed cutting rates, but we respect their independence. But if you look at the GDP release today with a huge drop in inflation and very high growth, I think there's plenty of room for them to take action if they so choose.
Well, I might as well just throw this Wall Street Journal headline up on the screen while you're here and while we're chatting about it, because you have been seen as a top contender to possibly replace the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell. I'm sure you hear the talk on the street, Kevin. The two Kevins battle to be the next Fed chair in Trump's apprentice-style contest. So, do you want the job?
Well, first I want to say that it's not an apprentice-style contest. The president is going to go through an orderly search process led by Secretary Bassett. Kevin Warsh, the other Kevin mentioned there, is one of my closest friends. We've worked together for years. And I'm just really, really happy to be here in the White House. I mean, think about it. I get to be here with you on TV, coming out of my West Wing office on a 3% GDP day. I mean, what's better than that?
Oh, so let's try it this way. If you were the Federal Reserve Chair and you were in that decision-making position at 2 o'clock, what would you do?
Oh, I think the data are consistent with the Fed cutting rates. One of the ways that you can look at what normal behavior for central banks is to look at how the European central banks' rates compare to ours, how their moves compare to ours. And so right now, the ECB rates are around 2, and we're more than double that. And so that suggests that the difference between what the rest of the world thinks about where we are and us is pretty large and unusually large. And so I think that if I were managing a meeting, I'd ask everybody to talk about, well, why are we now like the big outlier on Earth at interest rates? What is it that makes you think that that's what we ought to do?
It has been noticeable,
like that.
And that has been pointed out by many of the economists on the street as well. Kevin, real quickly, the president made that historic visit to the Federal Reserve and met with Jerome Powell just last week. Here was a moment from then.
Are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you?
It was a nice moment, but we've heard President Trump nickname him Too Late Powell, right? But at least they could get along and they had that meeting. Why do you fathom, based on all the data, and even guys like Mohamed El-Erian, who's an Obama economist, who says that it's time for Jerome Powell to go because of what has happened here. Why do you fathom Powell, based on all this economic data, what you say is in plain sight, hasn't lowered rates? Is it political?
Well, first, what you can see from that clip is that, and I was in the Oval with the president and Jay Powell, is that it's a policy difference. That's what it is. It's a policy difference. And Chairman Powell has, in the president's eyes, been too late. But it doesn't mean he's a bad person. You can see that they had a moment of joviality, which I've seen that happen in the White House as well. But the bottom line is that I think that a lot of economists think that the Fed has been too slow and that there's lots of room for them to lower rates. And if they do that, then that's very, very positive for the economy, because it's going to make it so much easier for people to borrow, to buy a car, or to get a new home. Like right now, home ownership is really at a crisis level. The average age of a person buying a new home is around 41 years old. because home prices and interest rates were so high. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement in this already strong economy.
Well, I mean, there's a dual mandate, right? I mean, they're looking at, they've got to look at stabilizing prices and maximizing employment. And both of those things have gone in that direction, to your point. Okay, so let me finish up by asking you this. The markets right now, when I look at that Fed fund tracking tool that the CME group puts out, right now markets are heavily anticipating in the September meeting that there will be a cut. What will the impact of that be once the Federal Reserve finally does cut rates?
I think markets will be reassured to see that the Fed is indeed following the data and not being partisan if they start to see rate cuts. And so I would guess that it would be a pretty positive response. Usually markets price things in, but I think there's quite a bit of political uncertainty because the markets have been surprised, I believe, by the reluctance of the Fed here in the U.S. to follow what the other central banks are doing. And I think that there's legitimate worry about whether they've been partisan when making those decisions.
Well, I rarely see the markets sort of get it wrong here this close to the interest rate decision. And right now it looks like no change at the top of the hour. Again, we could be surprised. We'll see. But obviously the press conference that Powell has after that will be exactly what the markets will be listening to. Lots of intrigue there, I guess you could say. Kevin, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Great to be back. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.